Next up, I'm gonna go breakout star or stars. Breakout stars are sleeper stars, I guess you can say. First one I'm gonna go for is Tyrese Haliburton. Absolutely love Tyrese Haliburton. With them trading away Demontis Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon. You have much more young roster, and with Tyrese at the helm of that, I feel like he's just gonna go absolutely insane. No huge crazy numbers, but definitely a jump up with the Pacers positioning him as their next franchise guy. They're one of their focal pieces. It'll be really cool to see him take a huge jump, and I know he definitely will. He can pass it really well. He can score pretty decently. He's gonna take another huge jump. So I feel like Tyrese Haliburton definitely, and outside of the safe options like a Jalen Green, an Anthony Edwards, and Tyrese Maxey, I feel like a lot of people sleep on Reese, slightly due to like who he is and like how he like his play style, but also being in Indiana, you don't have to get much coverage, but they're a fun and upcoming team, and I feel like he's gonna take a huge jump for sure.
Tyrese Haliburton, that's a great pick, especially because he's solidified as the number one option, I'm assuming, in Indiana. They had a good draft with Benedict Mathurin. They have Miles Turner there still, of course, pending any trades that happen. Similar to a player who's relatively new to the league, I have Tyrese Maxey taking a big jump. And as you could tell by me saying that James Harden's MVP candidate, I'm very high on the Sixers coming into this next year. And I think they're for sure favorites in my eyes. I think Tyrese Maxey, what was he last year? About an 18 point per game scorer. I think he's going to elevate that a lot more. And this is coming off of James Harden being like an MVP candidate. Incredible passer. Makes everybody around him better. I think Tyrese Maxey's taking a big jump.
Definitely see Tyrese taking a huge jump. Hopefully alongside Harden, as he's able to improve over the season with the additions, they will make a deep run. I feel like it's pretty fair to say. Any other stars or breakout guys or sleeper guys you think we need to keep a lookout for?
I don't think it's a sleeper, but Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards
sure.
is gonna take a big jump.
For sure. Him and Cat are gonna have to do their thing. It's weird. Anytime I hear anyone talk about the Timberwolves, we just like everyone just shits on D'Lo. D'Lo's not bad. It's just like when you instantly think Timberwolves, obviously you think Cat and Ant. And people are, I've seen images of like Cat, Ant, and Rudy as the big three. Like D'Lo can give you buckets too, bro. I'm gonna need people to start putting respect on D'Lo. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I don't like watching the Spurs, and I'm honestly gonna try to. I'm gonna try to. Keldon Johnson, I feel like he's gonna take a jump. I won't sit up here and lie and say he's gonna take this grit because like I don't watch him enough, but I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. I watched him play on Team USA with all those other guys, and he fit in pretty well there. But being at one of the focal points of the team, I feel like him, Joshua
Obviously.
Primo, and other guys, he's gonna take a big jump. Maybe in the most improved category, more so than the breakout sleeper star. So I feel like Keldon Johnson can take a huge jump too this season. People are gonna have a lot more eyes on the Spurs.
I have one more that I think is definitely a sleeper pick. Malik Monk. I think Malik Monk signing with Sacramento and playing with a player like De'Aaron Fox, they kind of have completely different play styles. They're like opposites. I think that's going to work greatly for him, and he's going to get more touches. Probably going to start. I think he's going to make a huge jump. And what is he, like 20, 26, 25? I just don't think he got to do as much as he's able to do on the Lakers because of all the things that went down this season. And if you really look at it, he was probably one of the little amounts of bright spots on the Lakers this past season.
Lakers fan, like just seeing little spurts of him shooting the ball or dunking it, or just like his handle. He has so much promise, and being next to De'Aaron, a guy who can drive and kick it, having shooters around him has kind of been his kryptonite coming into the league. So to have guys like Herter, like Monk, who can stretch the floor for him, I feel like they're going to prosper. But specifically speaking about Malik Monk, yeah, definitely super high on him. Definitely another guy to look out for, and I feel like he's going to be great for them this season. There probably are some people we are not necessarily forgetting, but like aren't mentioning because we know they're going to take a huge jump, or like we're like too unsure. I did say this is like more of a fun video, but at the same time, we want to keep it a little hyper realistic. Like
I don't think it's much of a hot take, but as much as I don't really like the guy anymore, Christian Wood. I think Christian Wood will take a big jump, playing alongside Luka, probably starting at the 4. That's what I would do. I would start him at the 4. I think he's a knockdown shooter. He could, bring some diversity to Luka Doncic's game by having a popper and a roller at the same time. I think his production's obviously going to rise because in Houston he didn't have a playmaker. Maybe it's Christian Wood who gets the MIP nod.
I feel like we don't even have to mention Cleveland. We know dogs like Garland are going to go crazy. Sexton's coming back off an injury, looking to prove himself once again to that organization and just the league that he's still a really good player. Young studs, LaMelo Ball. I feel like we need to give some love to Cade Cunningham. Obviously, coming off his rookie year, he was hurt for a little bit, and he still performed. He averaged like 17, I think. But I feel like he's going to take a huge jump with them bringing in Ivy and Duren and potentially some more free agent signings. There's still a good couple of people left. No one like crazy on the board, I don't think, for the free agents, but I feel like Cade Cunningham's going to take a huge jump too. I want to talk sleeper teams. Like I said previously, there's a lot of guys coming back from injury, so we know that within the playoff realm, things are going to be stacked. And even some teams that you think are a lot for the playoffs could be pushed into that 7 to 8 seed due to how deep the West is now. You got all these really good rookies coming in. I'm not going to sit up here and say they're definitely going to help their team push to the playoffs, but they're definitely going to be making some noise. There are a lot of good guys this year. I want to talk about sleeper teams and who you think in each conference is going to shock us. Maybe not make a huge run in the play-in, playoffs, but they're here to make noise.
I don't think this is much of a surprise. I think throughout all of the podcasts and videos we've ever recorded, we've always been huge Cavaliers fans. And I think the Cavs, just another year of development. Garland, of course, getting better. The only reason they didn't make the playoffs last year because of injuries.
Yes.
Mobley year 2. Colin Sexton coming back with something to prove. Getting to actually have a full season under their belt with their rotation because after the Karis LeVert trade, they really didn't play together much at all. Like the lineup they want to run. I think the Cavs are going to make a huge jump this year. Maybe a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Top 4 seed, hey. I can see that, honestly, with their lineup and their rotation. Like you said, just having healthy bodies and having guys consistently there to have a lock on your lineup is awesome. Garland, LeVert, Markkanen, Mobley, Allen, like that whole, that trio of bigs is just crazy how well that works out and just how well they play together. You'd think with spacing and stuff, things get pretty messed up, but Markkanen can shoot. Mobley is expanding his range.
He could shoot. He can knock a shot down.
Right, he can knock his shots down, and then you got Jared on the block, and you have guard and Darius who can pretty much do everything, and Karis who can give you buckets, like just all
Darius
around.
Garland is the black Trae Young. I will continue to preach this. He is the black Trae Young. He is offense.
Just his quickness, his change of direction, his floaters, his passing, his 3-point shooting, like finishing all around. Like a very exciting guard, one of the best guards in the league for sure, and he's really stepping into his own. And
should have been most improved this year. That just passed. In my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I had DG or Poole. But, the Cavs for sure, man. Don't even get started on their bench. They still have Okoro. They have Sexton. They have it all. They still have Kevin Love and towards the tail end of his career, still giving them really important minutes and helping a lot of those guys as that vet. Another great team. Obviously, we already mentioned Detroit and how well they did in the draft and certain signings, Cade, Sadiq. Still great guys that picked up Bagley.
The Cavs got Abaji, who is a NBA shooter.
Most definitely.
Slides right in.
Yeah, Detroit, Cleveland.
Go ahead, say it. I'm gonna say it too. Go ahead, say it. Sacramento. Say it.
Hell yeah. Sacramento, I feel like same with similar to Portland with you giving spacing to De'Aaron, I feel like he's going to take a huge jump, but also the team's going to get a lot better. You got Keegan Murray who can shoot as well. You brought in Sabonis, still got Davion, so Harrison Barnes. Malik Monk, like solid stuff to put around De'Aaron and to make that work. I feel like they can make a run in the play-in potentially. I feel like they'll surprise us. I feel like, you know what? Do I want to? The West is too deep for me to sit up here and say Sacramento is going to take a fucking playoff spot, but I low-key want to.
Okay.
I low-key want to. I literally want Sacramento to surprise everybody, bro. Like I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Portland, bro. I just like these teams who have been in the gutter for the past, forever,
forever.
Especially Sacramento, not being in the playoffs for 15 plus years, Portland making it, but either running into the Warriors or just not being good enough against whoever they match up against. I want to see these teams make some noise, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully not at the expense of my team, because that would be horrendous, but I do want to see them make noise. So yeah, Cleveland, Detroit, Sacramento, throw Portland in there, Minnesota. We got to talk about Minnesota. Minnesota, I don't even know if they're necessarily a sleeper team because of the talent they brought in and all the additional signings they brought in, but they're making noise too. They're making noise too.
I mean, I look at that team, and I think it's 100% dependent on Anthony Edwards' jump. If he makes the huge jump that we're expecting, yeah, conference finals. But I don't know, man. Time and time and in the playoffs, like time again and time again, we've seen Rudy Gobert get eaten alive.
Yeah, that is true. And he has to develop some kind of offensive game if they want to succeed as much as they do.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why are I think you told me about it. Somebody said that Anthony Edwards has a lob threat now. What?
Like if Don similarly in terms of scoring to Ant, if Don's not passing to Rudy, I don't know what's gonna make Ant pass to Rudy. Ant literally came out and said like no one's scared of Rudy last season. Like he's more scared of Porzingis, who barely has touched the court in the past 2-3 years due to injury. He's more scared of him shot blocking wise than Rudy. Granted, he's talking about the defensive side of the ball, not offense, but like literally no one's talking about his offensive side of the ball. People have come out and said, like, what is Rudy doing in the offseason outside of obviously, like working out and like, working on his defensive skills? Like, what is he doing offensively? We know he can dunk the ball. He's a 7-footer, like you're good at that. But I mean, some kind of, drop step, some kind of post move, fake, something to add to that.
I don't think you can even get an opportunity to do that. All the scoring they have on their team. They added Kyle Anderson. D'Lo is a score first type of guard. Anthony Edwards, of course, score first. Cat score first. Yeah. There's not even room for Rudy to really show improvement offensively. But,
right.
Hey man, if he brings it defensively, bro.
That's really all they need. They brought him in to help Cat out on the defensive end, and they have Cat to alleviate the stuff that Rudy has to deal with on the offensive end. So I mean,
maybe they make it out the first round. Maybe.